What's up, Starcraft fans? This video is brought to you by Endarthe, who is supporting me in the Pulse Cannon tier. Pulse Cannon tier supporters or higher are guaranteed one video redemption per month that is Starcraft 2 co-op related. This month, he asked me to review this co-op commander concept for Ariel Hanson. So, for those of you who do not know, she is a doctor person who appeared in the Wings of Liberty campaign to help her colonists, and mostly she complains a lot to Raynor. And I have Al Master with me on the call today. Al Master, how are you today?
I'm doing fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm actually doing okay myself. Though I'm still kind of sad that you decided to stop, doing content for Starcraft 2 co-op. But that's a story for another time. Anyway, today we're gonna do the review for Ariel Hanson Commander. So, Brian, let's hear about the overview for Ariel Hanson.
Colonist leader, Dr. Ariel Hanson, has the unenviable task of protecting her people from unwelcoming factional forces, but her troops are non-existent and her resources low. She has used her time on board the Hyperion, forming connections and furthering research, to solve her more pressing problems. Hanson has formed a militia made out of mercenaries using contracts negotiated from Mr. Hill in the Cantina.
Okay. How about the rest?
However, the colony cannot afford to retain their services on credits alone, forcing Hanson to entice them with free upgrades and new tech based on whatever her research can produce. Hanson now joins missions not just to collect samples for her research to fulfill her promise to the mercenaries acting as her army, but also to prevent future threats from harming her people.
So, Al Master, do you remember playing the Wings of Liberty campaign?
I remember this character very clearly.
Yeah? What do you remember from Ariel Hanson?
I do remember me hoping that she would get eaten by the Zerg at some point. She drove me.
Well, what I remember from her is that she didn't actually ask for samples. I believe it was always Stetboy who was asking for samples, not Dr. Hanson. I was hoping to get some clarification on that. But anyway, Brian, let's hear the continuation. Short overview of how Ariel Hanson works.
The Merc compound is available from the start of the mission. Only one Merc compound can be on the field. It can be rebuilt if it gets destroyed, but all cooldowns and charges will be reset when that happens.
Okay.
Unlike the campaign, charges are replenishable. Mercs that are called down will drop directly at the rally point.
Okay, so if you guys remember the campaign, there is a set number of charges on the Merc compound, and once you've exhausted all your available charges, you will no longer be available to summon more reinforcements to the field.
Hanson uses research points to research all upgrades, including weapons and armor upgrades, instead of spending minerals and Vespan gas.
Okay.
Research points can be gained either by waiting every 60 seconds via the Lab Research top bar passive ability, or when you have accumulated enough samples dropped by enemies with the hero transport.
So, there's an interesting concept here that Hanson has a third resource called research points. Apparently, they can be gained by either just waiting for 60 seconds to get a new research point, or to gather samples using your hero transport. So let's hear about the next thing.
Research points can be spent on Terran research upgradability, Zerg research upgradability, or Protoss research upgradability, which would increase the level of that ability for all units that possess it. Each upgrade ability has 10 levels, meaning you only need 30 research points to fully upgrade this commander.
Okay.
Extra research points can be traded for minerals and Vespan gas via Lab Research top bar active ability.
Okay, that's interesting. So you notice here that you need 30 research points, and without collecting any samples using the hero transport, you will need to wait for 30 minutes to get enough research points to get every race research to the max level, to 10. So let's hear about the next thing.
Hanson has many economy-boosting talents, including increased Vespan gas per trip, building mules that do not time out in pairs, like Zerglings, and allowing 2 SCVs, or 4 mules, to be built at the same time. However, 20% of your income will be given to your ally, which will boost their economy as well.
Oh, this is pretty neat. Hey, Master, have you ever heard of a mechanic that directly boosts their allies' income?
Mechanic that directly boosts their allies' income. Does that one count?
I don't think it directly boosts their income. It kind of indirectly boosts their income because it depends on them not having maximum saturation.
Yeah, no.
I
It's
think
actually
this is
really cool.
Yeah, it's a unique.
This is a very unique.
I guess Hot and Horner counts or Kerrigan's assimilation or counts as extra resources, but not income per se. So yeah, this is pretty interesting. Let's hear about the next thing.
Scanner Sweep, Dark Prison and Mind Control are active top bar abilities that have the same charge mechanic as Precision Strike. The total number of charges available is dependent on the number of sensor towers and psi emulators on the field.
Okay, so apparently Ariel Hanson has sensor towers and psi emulators that have abilities with Scanner Sweep, Dark Prison, and Mind Control. I imagine that the Scanner Sweep is available on the center tower, and the other two are available on psi emulator. Because, yeah, Dark Prison sounds like a Protoss thing. The Mind Control sounds like a Zerg thing. Yeah, I think that's an interesting thing. How does, based on the first few paragraphs of Ariel Hanson, how do you feel about how she works, our master?
She seems like, I think, a little bit extra on support, like hardcore support.
Yeah,
I do like the hero transport mechanic. I
yeah.
don't think there's any command that has to send a unit like somewhere around the map to be able to get their research done faster. It's actually kind of interesting because it'll open up interesting plays for players where it will reward like map knowledge, right?
Yeah.
So knowing where your enemy forces are, if you're like Protoss, Terran, or Zerg, Amon forces.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a cool idea. I think it forces people to really know where enemy forces are.
That's actually interesting. So actually, let's proceed to. Do you want to proceed to top bars first?
Sure, yeah, we can do the top parts.
All right, Brian, let's read up on lab research.
Lab research. Passive, gains 1 research point every 60 seconds. Also gain research points collected via field research ability. Research points gained can be spent on either Zerg, Protoss or Terran research upgrade ability on the hero transport. Active, exchange 1 research point for 100 minerals and 100 Vespan gas.
Vespan gas. So it says here that research points can also be gained on the field research ability, but it doesn't say here how we can actually get samples on the map. Does it say here? Have you read anywhere on where we can actually find samples on the map?
No, but I'm assuming that there'll be a unit that exists that is talking about the.
Yeah, I've
Maybe
skimmed.
a little bit later.
I've skimmed through this whole document, and I haven't actually found a specific.
Yeah, here it is. It's Hanson civilian transport, like that unit. There's a field research ability. So it says enemies will drop samples upon its death. Enemies killed within 16 radius of this hero will drop 50% more samples.
Amount of samples dropped depends on the supply of the enemies killed. Lab research. Okay. Okay, so yeah, yeah. How many samples?
You gain one. Yeah, you gain 1 research point, but to collect samples, you need 100 samples to get the 1 research point. Okay, it's not a direct. Okay, I thought the mechanic was a little bit different. I was expecting something a little bit different, but this one kind of also makes sense.
It's like biomass collection, except is it the same amount of samples as biomass? Does it say here?
Not sure. I don't think they've like really given the exact numbers.
Yeah, that's actually what I was hoping to read in this. Like, I knew it was something like biomass collection, but I was actually looking for the exact number. I guess we'll have to read up more on that later and hope we can find it. But yeah, it sounds like we're gonna have to collect biomass, much like Abathur collect. Yeah, we're gonna have to collect samples, much like Abathur collects biomass. Let's proceed to scanner sweep.
Scanner sweep reveals a 13 radius area of the map, detecting cloaked and burrowed units. Lasts 12 seconds. 1 charge per sensor tower on the field. A maximum of 20 sensor towers can be on the field.
Nice. So the cooldown is 120 seconds, and each scan lasts for 12 seconds. So you can theoretically keep a scan. You can actually keep 2 scans on continuously at any one time, because the cooldown. You can use another scan theoretically at least. You can use a scan every 12 seconds, and you can actually use 2 scans every 12 seconds and just cycle through them, and you'll actually theoretically never run out as long as you have 20 sensor towers. That's interesting. It's like a regular scan though. That's just pretty nice. So how about Dark Prison?
Dark Prison mimics Protoss Psi energy to imprison target air or ground enemy unit or structure, disabling it for 12 seconds. Heroic are disabled for 7 seconds. 1 charge per Psi emulator on the field. A maximum of 20 Psi emulators can be on the field.
So this looks like the Void Stasis thing, right, Master? It looks like the Void Stasis of the Shadow Guard.
Yeah, it does. It seems that the mechanics are really similar. Can they be attacked?
That's actually
they are in the...
Yeah, that's actually the question I had too. Can they be attacked while being imprisoned? Because it would be a huge deal if you can basically stun enemies like entire waves. The cooldown is 120 seconds, and full mastery you can have it ready every 90 seconds, which basically means you can have it up for every major wave in the game, and even when you're attacking big bases. That I think is a huge deal.
Would you use this ability?
I would love to use it on specific things. There are specific things that I would love to use it on. Specifically, infested banshees on minor evac when I don't have sufficient anti-air. I would love to use it on Diamondbacks and Chain of Ascension, the expansion area. It's basically impossible to chase those Diamondbacks for some races or for some commanders. I would love to use it on Cyclones, in part and parcel in particular. I would maybe use it on... Well, Heroicus are disabled for 7 seconds. It might be nice to disable something like, I don't know, the Mobius Hybrid on part and parcel? Or, a Stank for 7 seconds to buy more time to build stuff. Or you can disable a Hunterling that's killing your entire mineral line. I think it's good.
Yeah. The reason why I brought it up is because like the idea of a disable ability is it's always like you always see it like being implemented, and it's kind of interesting. But disable abilities generally do not have as much viability as being able to kill something like almost instantly.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
like,
true.
It's like Phoenix's stasis, right? Like the stasis beam from Zeratul, or Phoenix's the Cyberus Arbiter, like
Yeah.
that stasis ability.
Yeah, the stasis field.
They've just...
I think it's because for those instances you have to use you have limited charges. Like you only have for Zertul once every like 3 minutes or something, and for the Phoenix suit you have better options with the Dragagoon suit and the Praetor suit. And for the Oracles, why would you use Oracles when you have Shadow Guard or Dark Templar? But
that is also true. Yeah.
yeah, in this commander's case, these dark prisons can be deployed via 20 buildings. you can have 20 psi emulators on the field at any one time. So you can actually stasis whole things, whole attack waves. And the only thing I would really want is the ability to attack those units while being stasis. It says Dark Prison, so maybe it works like Zeratul's Void Prison. If you played Zeratul in the campaign, he has this ability called Void Prison, which will just, immobilize enemies and you can attack them. If it works like, if it works like immobilization, then it's pretty awesome because you can attack enemies through it. That's why I think it's really good.
Okay, fair enough.
Especially when you those hunterlings, or for example, your one and only defensive unit gets chokered. It will be really nice not to have to deal with it. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
Mind control, let's hear it.
Mind control. Permanently takes control of target enemy biological unit. Controlled units do not count towards supply. Cannot target heroic units or workers. 1 charge per psi emulator on the field. A maximum of 20 psi emulators can be on the field.
So, one thing I would like to know is, do Mind Control and Dark Prison share the same cooldown? Like, for any given psi emulator, can you use a Dark Prison and then Mind Control? Or do you have to...
I'm assuming the charge is shared between the two abilities.
Sure. Yeah, I was thinking that they might be shared. It would kind of suck for Mind Control because it seems, I don't know, way worse than Dark Prison. Because I'm thinking of the units that I would like to Mind Control, and the vast majority of them are mechanical.
Yeah, I do like how they also said cannot target workers. Like, heroic units you get, but workers is like, yeah, we don't want any random shenaniganry going on.
But that would be the fun part.
I know. I vote that the workers part be excluded from this.
I
can actually like my.
Yeah, it would be nice to make your own Amon army, and then have that fight Amon's army. It would be pretty great. But yeah, I can understand why they wouldn't want that to be a thing because they're trying to control lag as it is, and adding more stuff might just destroy all that. So yeah, I can see why they wouldn't want it. Anyway. So, let's proceed to the hero. So first we have the Hanson Civilian Transport, Armored Transport, Militarized Transport, and Zeus Lander. Apparently they're produced from the Merc compound, and they can transport 120 things. So it's like, they're basically mobile bunkers, except they can transport 120 things. Which is pretty bonkers if you think about it. 120 carrying capacity. Do you know how much carrying capacity Swan's Hercules has?
What is it? Like it can hold 8 siege tanks. Each siege tank takes like 4. Is that like 32?
32. So you compare that to 120. You can see how insane it is.
So
you can carry your entire army in this one thing.
Why would you load something into this? This is your heroic unit that goes to pick up like your research, right? Yeah. So why would you load
your entire thing
on this?
I think it's like, because
probably right. Like this thing is giving you your.
I guess to really concentrate your firepower while kind of protecting your forces. Although I can understand why you wouldn't want it to be in here. It's
gonna get focused by everything.
It can get focused down.
Like just from basically reading what this commander is, the way I would have this is I'd have this at the back of my army, and I would push with my army with this thing like behind them, so that whatever my army kills will be collected by this thing, and all you need is maybe a few attack waves or just a few base pushes, and you can pick up a lot of research points.
Yeah,
that's how I initially thought I would like this commander.
By the way, this hero can fire while moving, which is pretty nice. So there are 4 things written on here. can you have all 4 of them deployed at the same time? Or do you actually need to build them one at a time and upgrade? Or do you...
I'm assuming the one upgrades to the other, like as you progress down the tech tree, or once you get a certain number of research points, that it just changes. Because like you have the civilian transport, you have the armor. So I'm assuming like the first one is like a Garbo kind of like vehicle, and then you get it like it becomes armored, so it has a little bit maybe more HP, and then it gets a gun on it, and then it can fly.
I can see that being a thing, yeah. Oh well, we can learn more about it. So here we go, field research. So when the enemies die, they drop samples, and when it's close enough, it drops 50% more samples, and the amount of samples depends on supply. So it's actually like biomass collection.
Yes.
So the better you are at collecting biomass, the faster you'll be able to gain research points. I think Lila can get 2 Brutalisks before the 2-minute void rifts on most maps. So that equates to 200 biomass. But when does it spawn? Does it spawn immediately? Is it available to start? 210-second cool-up. It spawns at 3 minutes. So in the first 3 minutes, you can't actually get that fast of research yet, because the transport isn't available at that time.
What is it? A 210-second cool up?
Oh, hold on.
Because it's
330. My mistake. It's 330. Yeah, 180s. I can't math. Anyway, yeah, 330. It spawns at 330, and then it respawns every 90 seconds, which is longer than normal heroes, which is interesting. Anyway, so it can load and unload all units. Allows loading of siege breakers in siege mode. Oh, this is where it gets interesting. Look, it can load siege tanks in siege mode. It can also load air units and battlecruisers. That's pretty funky.
Do you hear that sound, Siege?
Yeah.
I hear Swan crying in the distance.
Swan doesn't cry, man. Come on, let's be real. Swan doesn't cry.
Once his crappy 32 supply Hercules gets overtaken by the 120 supplies Zeus.
Yeah, but Swan can build multiple of his. When he loses one, he doesn't have to wait for 90 seconds for it to be available again. He can just warp in the next one.
This one of this is better than like 4 of Swans.
That's true. That's true. Oh man.
Like I would basically just loaded all the siege tanks, like 120 supply. That's what, like 30 siege tanks?
That's pretty
Like,
wild.
One-shot hybrids with that.
If I'm reading this correctly, I believe that at some point the enemy or the units inside the transport can attack while inside the transport. Let me find that part.
There was a thing on the hold fire weapons free. It says it also affects units loaded in the hero transport. Hold fire and weapons free.
Yeah. So you can have siege tanks inside your transport. That's pretty wild.
And there's also the rapid deployment, which unloads all units almost instantly as well.
Yeah, it works like Omega Worms. When the unit dies, it unloads all these. Okay, that's good. But what if you're over? What if you're over unpathable terrain, like in the far north, far east, far west, and far south of Temple of the Past? Basically, the space between the lanes. What if you lose it over there, for whatever reason? I haven't actually tested that. I should test that at some point.
I have a feeling that I actually don't know what happened. I've actually never tested this. Like, what happens if you're?
I think.
What happens if you're gonna die?
I think what happens. I've seen the scenario before where a hybrid, an air hybrid, transforms into a big hybrid over the unpathable terrain, and it just gets stuck in the low ground.
Yes, I have.
You've seen that, right? It does spawn, but it doesn't have any way to get back on the pathable terrain. It's actually just it actually just gets stuck. So I feel like that might also happen to the units inside the transport when it dies. It just gets stuck. It's gonna be funny. Oh man. Let me read some more of these. So for every Terran research upgrade, you get a new perk. Every level increase armor for all structures by 1. So you can have 10 armor on your buildings. Which is pretty crazy. 10 armor is more than...
yeah.
It's basically like Avenger on your buildings.
Yeah, because like my buildings are always like on the front line charging into enemy forces.
Really, so like Marines cannot kill your base anymore. Zerglings cannot kill your base anymore. It's pretty wild. Even Zealots can't kill your base anymore.
It's like I guess it's okay, like I'll take it, but armor on buildings is like probably one of the lowest priorities because most of the time you don't really need the armor.
I believe their planetary fortress can fly.
Ah, okay. Okay, that changes it.
Yeah. Mass planetary. Upgrade weapons and armor for all units by 1. Unlock Neo Steel Bunker. Allows planetary fortress to load infantry units. Okay, level 4. Your planetary becomes a bunker. Before Talify applies to command center. Okay. Level 5. Double SCV and mule repair rate. Okay. So it's like dual fusion welders. Upgrade weapons and armor for all these by 1. Okay, cool. So you don't actually buy upgrades. You actually get them by researching Terran upgrades. Yeah. Unlock Dark Prison ability.
I think about this mechanic, it's
different. Oh wow. Look at this. Look at this. Apparently Dark Prison unlocks at level 7. That kind of sucks. Because to get to level 7, you need to wait for either 7 minutes into the game, or, wait 7 minutes and then collect 200 biomass. Let's say you can collect 200 biomass you can collect 200 biomass at 5 minutes. So you can have the Dark Prison at 5 minutes. But for the purposes mentioned earlier of blocking the Hunterling, for example, that's kind of too late already, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I guess for that particular scenario, it's maybe a little bit too late, but...
I wonder what the range in the Dark Prison is. Does it say there the range? Did they just miss it?
Global. I just assumed it was like if you have vision, you can stasis the thing.
Dude, that can have some insane cheesing ability. Like if you...
Oh, definitely.
If you can mind control, for example... Wait, what can you mind control? Cannot talk to workers. I'm thinking of maps like Scythe of Amon, where you can just scan the last shard, and they can mind control every biological unit there without even going there. If it's actually global, that's
also a possibility.
That sounds pretty busted. At the very worst case scenario is you lose all the units that you mind controlled, but they're Amon's units, not yours. It's still really good.
Would this really be Starcraft if there wasn't something that someone found that was completely busted?
I'm trying to think of more cases. Like you can make the spawning hybrid. You can make the spawning hybrid work against itself. If it spawns units, you'll just mind control those units, and they'll fight the hybrid for you. That's pretty nuts. Let me think.
Pretty balanced.
Yeah, pretty balanced, yeah. Oh, lock and load! You can cheese lock and load. You can just freeze, you can just void stasis all the enemy units there, or in mind control, while you capture the locks.
I think there's way too many units to be able to stasis them all. I think.
What?
Yeah, I there are way too many units. Like, I guess you could do it for like the central lock or something like that, but I think there.
You have 20 charges.
Pretty sure there are more than 20 units like near the lock.
Yeah, but you just mind control them. You just mind control 20 of them. They fight each other, and the few survivors there are too few. You can just overpower them easily.
I think you're overestimating the power of the mind control.
20.
There are like 2 big fat hybrids on like the northern lock.
20
How
units!
does it work?
You can just
You're gonna be
immobilize.
getting like random marines and zerglings.
You
and then
can
the
immobilize.
hybrid is gonna be like W, and it's
But you can immobilize the hybrid and let the small dudes attack it repeatedly. Let me find it. Let me find the ability. Here we go.
certain that you can actually like.
Heroics are disabled for 7 seconds. So you mind control 10 units, and you disable the hybrids there. You can disable 2 hybrids for 35 seconds each. That's a lot. Then again, you do have to build 10 Psi emulators, so I can see why it's not that quick. Oh well, let's move on. Anyway, where were we? I believe we're not even at units yet. We're just debating the mechanics of this hero.
Just trying to figure out what we can break.
Yeah. Level 8, increase cargo space at Planetary Fortress to 10. Solid. Upgrade weapons and armor by 1. Unlock mind control ability. So you can't actually unlock mind control until you reach level 10. It's a long while. I don't think mind control's that good anyway. You can only mind control biological units, which aren't that good. I would like mind control better. If it just mind control all the things except heroic. That's the only way I think mind control would be justifiable at level 10. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm having a look at in general. Like these upgrades are actually pretty solid.
Yeah. I
Decent.
Yeah, but for the level 10 the level 10 Terran research upgrade at page 6, I think mind control at level 10 isn't really justified unless you make mind control work on mechanical and robotic as well. That's what I think, at least.
Yeah, I think mind controlling just biological units, you're kind of skewing the strength when you're playing up against Zerg.
Yeah.
Because like if you're not playing up against Zerg, if you're playing up against like mech terran, for example, you kind of just shaft it.
Yeah. Or you just don't get it all, which just kind of sucks. Anyway, Zerg research, every level you get life regen. Regen is equal to 0.1 of health per second. It's a little low, if you ask me. At level 1.1% per second. So you need 10 seconds to generate 1% of your health. So on
I think that's a little bit.
that's really low. And even at level 10,
It's like I mean, like at max level, you're getting 1%
1%
life per
of your health.
second.
That's that'll take you 1 minute 40 seconds to fully regen. I don't think that's co-op like. That's 1v1 like. That's not co-op like.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I think you guys might want to tune this up a little bit. The 0.1%.
Level 36 and as transport gets upgraded. Thought would be
Upgrades. Hanson. Here we go. Yeah, you're right. At level 3, it becomes the armored transport. Increase life by 150. Gain a weapon. Yeah, you're right. Level 6, it becomes the militarized transport. Increase life by 300. And upgrades to Zeus Lander. This hero as a flying unit, increased life by 600. Double attack rate, it can now hit air units. Nice. It's pretty nice.
What are your thoughts on this?
Well, on its own, it's kind of underwhelming, but the Zerg and Protoss research upgrade, as you'll find out later on, actually applies to all units, not just the transport itself. So, I think it's fine. That being said, you kind of want to rush to increments of 3. Like, you don't want to stop at level 2, you want to get to level 3. You don't want to stop at level 5, you want to get to level 6.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this. I would like to see maybe some small... Like, it doesn't need to be significant buffs, but at least small little perks that you can get per level. Maybe increase armor transport HP by 20 or 50 or something per level, and then at level 3, 6, and 10 you get these big spikes.
I understand that thought, but I think once we get to the unit later on, I think I have a better idea for how to go about it. Once we get there,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, let's Protoss. For every level, we get shields. Max shield is 4% of its maximum health, so we can get a maximum of 40% shield. Shields are 40% of the unit's health. It's pretty decent, I think. 40% of your health becomes a shield, which regens 2 per second. And I think it's pretty decent. Unlock rapid deployment, level 6 tactical jump. Loaded. Oh, here we go. At level 10, your loaded Marines, Firebutts, Marauders can attack from inside the transport. Oh, it doesn't say anything about siege tanks. Right? So only biological units can attack inside a transport.
It feels like it's only biological units that can.
Yeah, that kind of
do
sucks.
that.
They should up this to all units. Like, yeah,
Did
a
you
lot.
expect like a big flying ship of death that you could just like fill in with siege tanks and just like tactically jump into enemy bases and just obliterate everything?
Yes, this co-op.
Yes.
Yes,
And
that's
so-
exactly what I expect. Come on.
If I am not giving Amon a bad time, then this is not co-op.
Exactly. Why are we trying to go for balance here? Come on. Have you even seen what the guys at Nexus Coop do? Have you seen the Nexus Coop version of Ariel Hanson? Yeah, they gotta the guys who wrote this gotta tune this up. They gotta up the ante on this. The concept's good, I think. I prefer, so if you didn't know, Ariel Hanson in Nexus Coop is actually a Zerg commander. She commands infested stuff, and she has access to, I believe, the Stank, the Hunterlings, Chokers, the Spooters, and the Spooters, and the
Chonkers.
Chonkers, and the Kaboomers. So she's pretty strong. I believe Balaban Marketing even said that Ariel Hanson is one of the strongest Nexus Coup commanders. Compare that to this version by Endarthe. I actually conceptually, I like Endarthe's version more, because I feel like Ariel Hanson is actually more of a Terran commander. But power-wise, I think, I haven't played Ariel Hanson yet, but power-wise, I think the Nexus Coup version is stronger. So I feel like this version, the Terran version, just needs to be a little stronger. Like, don't be afraid to up the ante a little bit. Especially since whenever Blizzard releases a new commander, it tends to be way stronger than the rest. So like, to just align it with, new commander strength, make it a little more powerful. Why not, right?
Sure.
I'm glad you agree. Anyway, let's move on to units. Warpig. So it's basically Marines, and each Marine costs something like 65 or something like that. 66. 4. Yeah, there are 4 of them. Each Marine costs 66 and a half. And it's a little bit stronger. Yeah, it has 75 health. 75 health. And it's basically like a P1 Rainer Marine, right?
Yeah, they seem pretty tanky.
It has stim, increase move and attack rate by 50%. If you have Zerg level 3, it gets to 100%. And the duration is 10 seconds, but if you have Zerg level 6, the duration is 15 seconds. Which is pretty good.
Can we take a moment to appreciate the person that prepared this sheet by saying, like, if you're Zerg level 3, you get he's put the race, like the race tree and the race level and the new buff, like,
Yeah,
to make
it's
it easier to.
it's
Other
pretty,
than that, thank you for making it like very very easy to read.
photo loss and Endarthe. Yeah, they actually spend a lot of time on this. Also, you can read it down below on this on the Zerg research upgrade. It says here at level 3,
like, not having to go through and like look up and down every single time.
It's pretty nice. Anyway, Everyman Shield. So when shields are fully depleted, it restores user shields instantly on a 60-second cooldown. Protoss level 6, user also gains 2 shield armor for 15 seconds. So the shield gets 2 armor. It's pretty good. Level 10, ability will trigger automatically when the user takes fatal damage that goes through its shields. Okay, so it kind of acts like Garden Shell if you get hit by a nuke, for example. But that's a level 10.
Seems pretty balanced.
So here's my idea. Remember earlier when we said that we want the increments to be different? So you see here the Zerg research upgrade. Level 3 it gets a stim buff. Level 6 gets a stim buff. Level 10 gets a charge cooldown buff. So the way I think would be better here if you stagger these levels to not align, or so that each unit, or rather at each level, at least one unit will gain something new. Like for example, the Marine will get the Zerg research at level 1. At level 2, the Farbat will gain Zerg research. At level 3, the Transport will gain Zerg research. At level 4, maybe the Marine and the Siege Tank will get research. At level 5, maybe the Marauder and the Battlecruiser can get research upgrades. I think that's how it's better. It will be better executed, I think.
Yeah, because like right now, like Zerg level 1 and 2, you're getting nothing.
Yeah.
And then level 3, it's
you get
like
everything.
Upgrade.
It's a huge power spike.
5, you're getting nothing, and then level 6, you're like invincible level upgrade. And then like 7 and 8 and 9, you're getting nothing. Then 10, you're basically like
God mode. Yeah. That's why I think it's better to kind of stagger the upgrades across the different levels.
The other advantage as well, like staggering these upgrades does, is like it makes people think about a little bit more carefully as to what level they want to go up to. Like right now, if someone's playing the game, they will make a decision. They're like, okay, I want to go to Zerg level 3. I want to go to Zerg level 6, and it's not like that's basically it's going to be their build. But if you're starting to stagger these things, then their build will change depending on the units that they intend on making. So they're like, oh, I'm going to be making Marines, or I'm going to be making these Firebats or something. Okay, if I'm doing a Marine build, I kind of want to stay at maybe Zerg level 6 or 7. Or oh, I'm making these Firebats, I kind of want to go up to like level 9 or
I think just staggering the levels increases the versatility, or the level of planning, the level of
decision
making. Yeah, it increases the strategical aspect of playing a commander, which I think is beautiful. Anyway, there's one more thing I want to say about the Marines, and it's that I don't think 75 health is enough, because it's not enough to tank a storm. It's not enough to tank a Reaver shot. It will activate the Garden Shell ability if you reach level 10, but prior to that it just dies. I feel like it needs more health. Like something that I think 100 health is more reasonable. I think Novus Marines have 150 health, and they still suck. So I think something, because the cooldown, like look at the cooldown on this. Charge cooldown 240 seconds. That's 240 seconds for Marines. 4 of them. That's and they only get like 250 health, or rather they only get 75 health each. Even with a shield of let's say 30, I think, you only get 105 total health. That still kind of sucks. I think you'd want to up this to at least 100. I feel like 100 health to make it something that people might actually want to call down and not suffer for it. Thoughts?
Yeah, I kind of agree.
All right, there we go. Devil Dog. So at level 6, apparently, it becomes gas free, which is pretty fun.
What is a Devil Dog? It's a Firebat, right?
It's a Firebat, yeah. So 2 supply each. 160. That's more like it. Look at that. 160 health. At Zerg level 3, it gets to 360 health. That's pretty chunky.
Yeah.
And,
That's nice, yeah.
and you add the 40%, shield. 40% of 360. What does that amount to? 100 or something?
About that much, yeah.
Something like that. So it's pretty decent. It has pretty decent health. I like it. But you know what I like more? The self-fix armor is nice. 25 life per second over 5 seconds. So it's basically 125 heal every 30 seconds. The ability goes 30 seconds, so you can heal yourself for 150 or 125. Every
It's an auto.
It's an auto cast too. And if you reach Zerg level 10, you can heal yourself for like 250 health.
Life.
That's pretty nice.
That's
every
good.
30 seconds.
That's really.
But what I really like is read the Orthus Guard.
Oh my god.
Reflects.
Okay, that is.
Take note.
Nice.
Take note. It says.
Protoss level. Take a look at Protoss level 6.
I don't even need to read that part, but look at this. It says reflects. It doesn't say inflicts. It says reflects. You know what else reflects? Zertul's Shield Guard. At the 3rd artifact fragment. And you know what reflect does?
Yeah, that is pretty good.
It fully bounces the enemy. It fully bounces the attack back to the enemy. And the targeted unit does not receive any damage. That's what reflects means. So, once you have Orthus Guard, your fire bats are literally invincible. You don't even need health on them. Because they literally reflect 100% of the damage. That's pretty crazy. I know that's not... That's probably not what they mean. But that's what they said. Reflects 100% of the damage. Once you reach Protoss level 3, you can just run your fire bats at the last objective. Just leave them there and you auto win. Because they're guaranteed not to die.
You see, that's what a co-op unit is supposed to be like. Maybe it's a little bit overpowered, but that's basically, you kind of need that kind of like level.
That's what a co-op unit is supposed to be. Unkillable. Literally undamageable. Oh man. So yeah, same deal here for Zerg and Protoss. Just stagger them. I like the concept. I like where they are. Just stagger them a little bit. No issue on the health of the Devil Dog. I like it where it is. Damage wise,
and so clear, right? Like the thing I like about it is like it's clear that this guy is your tank.
Yeah.
Well, not literally, but figuratively speaking, he's the tank unit.
Yeah.
This guy that's there, like on the front line, that's supposed to tank all the damage.
Just call down 2 of them.
I guess maybe that's the reason why the Marines don't have that much HP. Like maybe the intent is like, you're gonna hybridize your build, right? You're gonna have like maybe a few of the Devil Dogs in the front line, and you have your Marines that are your damage dealers.
The thing is, Amon's really good at
like.
Amon's really good at using Storm.
Yeah, but the only other thing as well is like your Marines, if they are supposed to be the damage dealers, they're decent damage dealers, but they're not amazing damage dealers, right?
Yeah.
So for the Warpigs, you gotta want to buff their HP if you want them to be a little bit more resilient, or like really buff their damage.
Or I guess just put them in the transport.
Oh yeah, I wonder if that's the reason why they made like that.
I guess, yeah. Why would you want to put a Devil Dog in the transport though?
No, not a Devil Dog, but like the Marines.
Yeah, I feel like
your Devil Dogs and transport behind filled with Marines.
What if there's like something in the transport that prevents the Devil Dog from entering? Like the Devil Dog is too girthy. I wouldn't ever want a Devil Dog to step into a transport. Except when I want to teleport to the other side of the map, so I can deploy my Devil Dog and have a tank for my transport. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway. Hammer Securities? That's a Marauder, right?
That's a Marauder.
Yeah, that's a Marauder.
Jack Hammer Shells, it's basically the concussive shells.
Shells, yes.
Yeah. I don't know why I had to change the name. I think concussive shells is fine. Is it any different from concussive shells?
If there is, then it's very, very slight. I guess like it does upgrade like into the ability to slow massive units as well.
I guess. Alright. Carinian Zone, so it increases sight and weapon range by 1. And once you reach Protoss level 6, it increases sight and weapon range by 3. Pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. Allows
for your ground units within 2 radius of effect. Wow.
Imagine stacking this with Stukov siege tanks. They get 21 range. They can outrange Tempests. They can
It's only for your ground units. It's not for your allies units.
Really? Only? Oh, that sucks. Oh well. Oh well. I was already having dreams of Stukov siege tanks being basically better bio launchers. Oh well. Let's let's move on. Same.
Oh, never mind. At level 10, Protoss level 10 allows this ability to affect your air units and all your allies units.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. So there we go. So
with 21 range, you gotta invest.
Your Stukov siege tanks basically become more stackable bio launchers.
Stukov siege tanks be like, look at me, I'm the Earth Splitter now.
I'm the Earth. Nah. Let's not exaggerate. Earth Splitters have 75 range. 21 is great, but it's not 75.
Just you wait.
Just you wait.
Someone will find a way.
Anyway, Zerg Protoss research upgrades also really good. Yeah. The region of 0.1%. Still not a lot, I think. The health region 0.1%. Every 10 seconds, your hammer sec will gain back 1.6 health. Ugh. That's pathetic.
It's okay if your unit has a lot of HP, but if the unit has a small amount of HP, you're probably not going to get the kind of value from it.
It's pathetic. Let's just call it what it is. It's pathetic. Anyway, let's move on. Ski Beast response. It's basically your medic. I was looking all over the place. Did you see where the healing rate is? How fast does it
For the
heal?
medic?
Yeah, I'm looking for the healing rate.
Same,
the same one for like where? For who? Is it the same one for?
like a regular medic?
Is it with or without the stabilizer med pack?
No, like the standard medic, right? Like for...
Yeah, but Rainer's medics have a stabilizer med pack, which improves their healing rate.
I'm assuming it's like base, but
Base?
again, I do not know.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks. I wish I had that information on here. Atlan Field. Reduce... Oh, look, this is pretty massive. Look at this. Atlan Field. It makes your medics actually indisposable. Look at this. 4 radius around the user for 5 seconds. Reduce all damage dealt to you or your ally by 50%.
Okay, so it's like a conservator.
But imagine stacking this. Yeah, it's better than the conservator. Imagine stacking this with a conservator.
Yeah, theoretically though, yeah.
Theoretically, you can reduce all your enemy's attacks down to 15%. You'll never die. I can see why. I can see why the Marines have that low of a health. I can see why. Like if you have
run around with like 5 HP, it'll still be fine.
It'll still be fine. I guess there's a potential here for higher level micro because the Atlan field only lasts for 5 seconds. So you have to... Wait, does it have a cooldown? I thought there's a cooldown. Right?
I think it costs energy. There does not appear to be a cooldown.
Yeah, so you can just... Okay, I thought the microphones would be trickier than it actually is. So you can just activate it again once the cooldown lapses. You can just have it on permanently. As long as you have enough energy for it. Sounds pretty good. Yeah, it's basically a better conservator. Which is wild. Reduce all damage to 50. Actually, with this field on, you can tank a reaver shot with a marine. I think. Right? 125 damage on Reaver Shot. Have that, you'll get 62 and a half. Yeah, 62 and a
I
half
like how your
damage.
brain works.
What?
You look at this, you look at damage reduction, and you think, what has really wrecked me in the past? And will
What?
it wreck me if I had this thing?
Me wrecked by Reavers? Never. No!
Ever. Imagine getting wrecked by it.
Imagine getting wrecked by disruptors. Imagine your precious Dragoon Ball Dragoon Ball, wow, that's... that's, not what I meant to say. Yeah, your Dragoon Ball. Anyway, you spent like 2 minutes building that, even 3 minutes, and then it just gets... You meet a disruptor, and then it's gone. Your Dragoon Ball, that is. My goodness. Anyway, yeah, this would really help tank for your units. Anyway, Outback Hunter. I think it's a vulture, not a Hellion, right?
I think it looks like a vulture.
Because it has spider mines.
Okay, it's a vulture.
Yeah, I don't know why they call it thrace mines, but the way it functions, I think it's basically a spider mine. Allows you to build more thrace mines. Yet cannot hold auto casts off by default. Not enabled. Max life. Okay. Oh, look at this. Apparently, you don't need to spend money. Call down or to build spider mines. You spend health. Oh, that's why they're called thrace mines. You don't spend money. You spend health to build them. Why? Why? Help me here. Why would you want to spend health to build mines?
How does he build more than 3 at a time, or can stop and falling up enabled? If this unit has less than 50% max life. So if this thing is sitting at like less than 50% HP, you
70.
cannot build it anyway.
It's 74 or fewer.
Uh,
I guess with Zerg level 10, it has 225 health, so you can build a lot of mines anyway. And it still has the auto heal, which is, I guess, okay. But, yeah, again, 0.1%. Yeah, kind of pathetic still. 1% health.
Is this thing healable by medics? No, right? You have to, like, send a worker to repair it?
Do they even have workers? Do they have Earth? Do they have workers?
Oh, maybe not. Well, how else would you harvest resources? You still need resources, right?
Oh yeah. I remember now. They have SCVs and mules. There we go. Yeah, here it is, the mule.
Theoretically repair this.
Yeah, I guess you can repair it.
It's an interesting mechanic.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Okay. Let's move on to the siege tank. Now this is the funny one. I've read this earlier. Oh, by the way, there's a misc here. The structure will set the ground on fire when it explodes, dealing 10 damage per second over 5 seconds. It also causes structures to take damage 200 damage over 10 seconds. That's pretty wild. Anyway, Siege Breaker. So, the funny thing about the Siege Breaker is, at tank mode, in tank mode, it does 100 damage, but it shoots once every 3 seconds. And in siege mode, it does 25 damage, but it shoots once every second. So, like, the siege mode is basically the rapid fire mode. It shoots faster, but its shots suck. In tank mode, it hits harder, but it's single target. What do you think about this?
Isn't that how all siege tanks work? No.
No, regular siege tanks hit harder when they're in siege mode.
1 minute. Let me check the use of my website.
The last remains of your website? Okay, so...
I keep mixing the two up. I'm like, wait, isn't that the way it's supposed to be? Yeah, never mind. Yeah,
anyway. It's pretty funky. So you shoot more frequently, but you deal less damage. With splash, though. So
you're more... Yeah. You want splashy damage, or do you want more single target damage? I think is the question.
I guess it depends on race. If you're fighting Zerg or Bio, for example, you still want the siege mode because you deal, splash. But if you're fighting Protoss, I guess you want the tank mode anyway. I think. It has moving shot, I think. Let me see. Yeah, here we go. Zerg level 3. You get moving shot. It becomes a Diamondback. Except 100 damage per shot. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, a Diamondback. It becomes a Diamondback. Except it deals 100 damage per shot. But every 3 seconds. That's pretty neat. When this unit switches from tank mode to siege mode, the next attack deals 200% more damage. So instead of 25, you deal 75 damage with the first shot. You know what? Maybe there's a case to be made for spamming siege and unsiege. Because you deal 75% on the first shot. And then you unsiege, and then you siege again. Unsiege takes 1 second, I believe. Yeah, reduces transformation time to 1 second. So you unsiege for 1 second, then you siege again for 1 second, then you fire. So that's basically 75 damage. 35 versus armored. Oh, with each weapon upgrade.
I mean, like, I guess it's okay, but realistically speaking, like, you think you'd be able to just keep sieging and unsieging every single time you wanted to do this? Like, is that the best use of the available APM? You constantly siege and unsiege.
Yeah, that's definitely the question. I guess this would be something that we'll have to try out in game. Honestly, I haven't seen a siege tank that works like this before. That deals less damage, but shoots more frequently when in siege mode. Well, yeah, we'll have to actually see how this works. Also,
Splash damage is 100% within the whole splashing area. That's the other thing I read.
yeah, so it's not like a gradient; it's full. It's like it's area of effect.
Yeah, but then I checked the splash radius, and the splash radius is 1.25, which is like very small.
Well, the diameter is 2.5, so I think it's decent.
It's decent, I guess, but I don't know. If you're gonna go down this way, where you're gonna gimp its attack damage, right? If it's sieged up, you kind of want to make sure that the splash radius is increased as well.
I might
the
use it.
maximum is gonna be able to
I might use it
29,
more
31
frequently.
damage.
Yeah, I might use it more frequently in tank mode actually, because
Yeah,
the damage is pretty
tank
good,
mode is just
especially when you're fighting objectives.
yeah.
Like if, for example, you wanna snipe the Void Sliver on the last on the last base in Sky to Paimon. You'd want to get in, destroy the shard, and then get out instead of sieging up, dealing 25 damage. Oh man. Yeah, I think tag mode might be better worth. Hold on, let me I think there's another perk here. When the unit switches from siege mode to tank mode, increase the unit's attack rate by 100% and move speed up by 50% in tank mode for 5 seconds. So it basically gets a mini stim. So instead of once every 3 seconds, your attack becomes once every 1.5 seconds. 100 damage every 1.5 seconds is pretty good. That's like 200 damage every 3 seconds or something. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's like 67 DPS. And that's before you factor in armor. You deal even more when you fight against armor. I think it's pretty good. It's like a liberator. Almost like a liberator actually.
Yeah. I think the tank mode is just better.
Yeah.
I think the siege mode just kind of kind of meh.
Meh. Exactly. Hell's Angel. So it's basically a Viking. You get this hurricane missile. It's hey, you call Stormhosts muffins, and you call the hybrid nemesis tuna fish. I'm allowed to call things what I want, yeah. You know. Anyway, look at this Stinfa class hurricane missiles. Apparently, they deal 90 damage versus psionic to all the air enemy units. I'm thinking of psionic air enemy units, and the only things that come to mind are the Raven, the Science Vessel, the Brood Queen, and the Oracle.
War Prism?
I guess Warp Prism works too, yeah. And the Arbiter. Anything else apart from that?
You don't think so?
Yeah, so like, why? Oh, the Viper. Yeah, the Viper.
Oh yeah, how come we our favorite unit?
The most fun and interactive unit. Anyway, our cast is off by default. Oh, it costs 10! It costs 10 health. My goodness. 10 health. Deal 90 damage? Versus Psionic? I guess if you're fighting Splash. It's weird that they would spend health. That mechanical units would spend health attack. What's the range? The range on the
9
range of the Stinfa class Hurricane missile?
Yeah, it's 9 range of the ability, and then it stuns within like 1.25 radius.
I don't think this
Honestly,
can
I don't
outrange.
think it's worth it, but
I don't think it can outrange the Viper even. For 90 damage? Yeah, I don't think it's worth. You gotta up this. Yeah, they gotta up this. 40 damage? They gotta up this. Not enough.
yeah, people will mostly use this because of the buff that the other research upgrades do. The one that like causes it to stun and prevent things from using their
I probably
abilities.
won't use this.
But yeah, it's like
Just Psionic? Really meh. Anyway. The unit itself is nice, but the ability seems underwhelming. I don't know. Anyway. Jackson's Revenge. That's basically a battlecruiser with a Yamato gun. I like the Yamato gun because in StarCraft 1 it's called the Yamato gun. In StarCraft 2 they called the Yamato cannon. I like Yamato gun a little bit more. I don't know. Anyway. 240 damage to an enemy target. Does not deal splash. Costs 20 health. Amazing. I like how Ariel Hanson is supposed to be this doctor, this hero dude. And all his abilities cost health. They're actually unhealthy to use. Oh man. Risky Warp. Warps instantly to any target location on the map. No vision required. No cast time. No vulnerability phase and no cooldown. Okay.
I don't know, but this seems perfectly balanced. And totally 100% no way of exploiting this mechanic.
Totally no way. Yeah, you can't like just 5-second cooldown the Yamato. 240 health. So if you have 10 battlecruisers, that's 2400 damage. You warp in, Yamato, warp out. What can you take out with 10 battlecruisers?
Almost everything.
Well, except main objectives, which is actually what you want to use it on. I believe the void slivers, the void shards have like 4,000 health. Crashers also have like 4,000 or 5,000, something like that. Void slivers got 12k, 13k even. So, yeah, I don't think that does anything. Even if you wait another 5 seconds and use another set of Yamato, I don't think it kills it. The charge cooldown is 360. You can only call down one Jackson's Revenge every 6 minutes.
Okay.
If you have full mastery, one Jackson's Revenge every 4 minutes. That's pretty pathetic.
Kind of rough.
Yeah. Cooldown's really rough. You can't really mass this kind of thing. In a 20-minute game, you can call down 5 of them. Max. I think. Yeah, 5. And the last one you call at the very end. So it doesn't do anything. So you can only actually use 4 of them. Yeah, kinda... Weapon damage, 8.
Oh my god, take a look at the Lerna class Death Ray.
Death Ray weapon. The enabled Jackson's Revenge can still use the auto attack. Ability cannot be enabled if the CT has less than 100 health. Death Ray weapon also deals 100 damage per second versus structure. 100 DPS. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
So if you have 4 of them, that's 400 DPS. What?
But unfortunately, it's only versus structures.
I mean, that's all you want to snipe with it anyway.
Yeah.
You want to use this to snipe like main objectives, such as the void slivers, the void shards.
Yeah.
What else? It would be nice if you can use this on the trains. One damage per second versus structure. How much damage? How much damage does it deal to units? Does it say here?
I don't think it can target units. Can it target units?
It can only target buildings?
It looks like it.
Okay. Ability cooldown 4 seconds. Yeah, so you can just snipe buildings. This ability is kind of specific to only maps where you have the main objective being a building.
Yeah, and it takes off 1 HP per second as well.
Well, that's not a lot. It's a battle cruiser we're talking about. That's not a lot.
It's not a lot now.
It's not a lot. It has 700 health. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Planetary Fortress?
Planetary Fortress. 400 minerals. It's only mineral based. Wow. It doesn't cost gas? So what does Hanson use gas on? What does Ariel Hanson use gas on?
Gasless Commander?
Well, not gasless, but look, the siege tank costs 200 gas. The battlecruiser costs 300 gas. And you can only summon 4 of them. It's not gas, but it's not a lot of gas requirement either. Interesting. So it'll be floating a bit of gas. Maybe you can probably give one of your gases to your ally. You can play like a Stukov. Planetary Stukov P3 or P0. Planetary Fortress, 1500 health, 94 0.94 movement speed while flying, 3 armor, 13 armor when you reach level 10. That's crazy. 13 armor. It's hard to kill. Oh. Weapon damage 40. Attack cooldown 2, so it's 20 DPS. Can it shoot while it's in the air?
It doesn't. I'm assuming no.
Disabling its ability, so it can't use abilities when it's flying. Yeah. Attack and loaded Mercurius cannot attack either. Okay, so it cannot attack when it's flying. So you have to land this thing to actually use it offensively. Neo Steel. Okay. Salvage. Okay. I'm wondering if there's a certain strategy you can do with this on a map like Dead of Night. You can have a planetary wall, a layered planetary wall. And when one is close to burning down, you just salvage it. You get 100% resource, and then you just rebuild at the back line. You'll never die. You'll just trade time for Amon's forces, right?
Yeah. I don't know if that's the most optimal way of utilizing it, but I guess.
You can also use it on something like minor evac. You just stall until the ship launches. And when it's low health, you just salvage it. Or you just land the next one.
Yeah.
Sensor tower. Here we go. Hold on. Missile turret? Okay, they have missile turrets. Mule, 75 minerals. Move speed 4. Cost half a supply. Oh, wait, alright. One call down calls down 2 mules. Okay. Missile turret, 100 minerals? It's a basic missile turret. Yeah, it's a basic missile turret. Sensor tower, 100 minerals, 50 gas. I guess that's what they use gas on. They use gas on sensor towers. And site emulators. Yeah, 100 gas. Look. The site emulator costs 100 gas. That's what you use your gas on.
Yeah.
Emit modified sigma radiation that can slow down all ground and air enemy units. Move speed and attack rate by 50%. Oh, that's really cool. 9 range? Oh, dude, this is a side disruptor. It slows down enemy units, ground and air, by 50%. This is really good. Imagine stacking this with the skibby person, the medic person's ability to reduce their damage by 50%. You'll actually be unkillable. Like straight up. You slow down everything. And then they can't even attack. That's pretty crazy. Sigma projector, so it's passive. Dark prison. So mimics imprison target air ground for disable for 12 seconds. For mastery. Permanently takes control. Controls that do not count towards supply. Cannot target heroics or workers. Salvage, you can even salvage it. Okay. Biodome. It's like your depot. You make a biodome. It can lift off and land. What? That's crazy. You can lift off your supply depots. That's kind of fun. Rebel Yell. Deploy 1 rebel per supply biodome on the field with a maximum of 15 rebels. Seconds. Deploy 1 rebel per supply biodome on the field. So you can deploy 15 rebels. Each rebel has 30 wow. Yes, that's useless. it's 15 rebels. Like, why would you use this ever? I mean, why would Ariel Hanson doesn't even have rebels? She has colonists. Right? It's Raynor who has rebels, not Hanson. Right?
Yeah. This seems a bit out of place.
Yeah, kind of. And okay, now let's move on to the talent progression. Talent progression: dirt farmers, 1 mineral per trip and 1 Vespene gas per trip harvested will be given to your ally. All upgrades are researched instantly and require spending research points instead of minerals and Vespene. Gain 1 research point every 60 seconds. All structures don't have tech requirements. Oh, he can basically rush straight to Battlecruiser. That makes sense, given that you don't have a lot of time to make Battlecruisers anyway. Combat units and merc units, which have more life, deal more damage. Okay. Max supply is 100. I don't know about this. I don't feel like the 100 supply is justified because her units don't feel like Nova units. They feel like kind of regular co-op units, but not, Nova units. You get what I'm saying?
I mean, like, even though, right? Like, would you even be able to get to like supply cap because your spawn timers are so large anyway?
Yeah.
But the other, maybe 150 supply because your units are kind of strong.
Strong as in like,
especially if you shields and stuff.
Strong as in co-op unit strong, but not Nova unit strong. I don't think they're as good as Nova units. Maybe I'm wrong. I guess some of them are, like the medic. You can reduce damage by 50%. That's pretty wild. Yeah, I guess with that being accounted for, that can make sense. Field research. Oh, you don't have field research until level 2. That's painful. Although I like the placement of this field research. Level 2, that's when you unlock the mechanic of the hero. Or of the commander. Very, I like this level 2. You'll unlock the site emulator at level 3. Microfiltering? Okay, that's pretty good. Level 4. Planetary you unlock at level 5. You unlock the level 10 turn research at level 6. Sustainable mule. Oh, so you don't have mules until level 7. Level 8, research funding. Research top bar gains an active function, allows you to exchange. Okay, so at level 8 you'll be able to exchange your extra research points for minerals and gas. So it depends on how fast you can gather biomass. You can probably... it's probably an endgame type of thing. Yeah. Zerg research upgrade level 10. Yeah, that these are already described earlier. Land allocation. Increase the limit of sensor towers and site emulators to 20. Oh, were they not 20 initially? Hold on.
I think they started at 10, I think.
Was it mentioned specifically? Maybe.
It was something like that, but maybe.
Cooldowns for all the mercenary squad charts are reduced by 30 seconds. Okay. Okay. Protoss research upgrade level 10. Ability for Protoss research to upgrade level 10. Okay. Worker reactor. Okay. 2 workers at a time. Cool. Orbital strike. Pretty good. That's when you deploy instantly to the rally point. So before level 14, they come out of the productive structure, like normal 1v1 races. Level 15, improved management, increase. Oh, there we go. Level 15, you increase to 150. That's pretty cool. All right. How do you feel about their talent progressions?
I think it's fine. Yeah.
You know what I think is missing? You know what I think is missing?
No.
An ultimate. She doesn't have an ultimate. Like, she doesn't have a big nuke. She doesn't have an immobilization type of thing. She doesn't have soul bombardment. She doesn't have pulse cannon. She doesn't have Hyperion. Yeah, I feel like she's missing an ultimate. You know? Something that would make you go, wow, that's awesome!
How about an ultimate? Something along the lines of all research points obtained from enemy drops is increased by 500% for like 10 seconds. Something like a Karax chrono wave. It requires like good timing to use.
The chrono wave isn't Karax's ultimate though. His ultimate is the Purifier Beam.
That is true.
I guess if she can be more like an Abathur type of commander. But Abathur has
Abathur doesn't.
But Abathur has ultimate evolutions.
Yes, but Dahaka doesn't have ultimates.
Well, yes, pack leaders. Come on, pack leaders are as good as ultimates.
They are ultimates.
They are ultimates. So in a sense, he has 4 ultimates. The 3 pack leaders, and when Dahaka reaches his ultimate level. Phoenix? I don't think Phoenix has an ultimate.
He has this like thing from a Solar Ray Dragoon, right? The
Oh
Arsenal
yeah,
Overcharge.
yeah. Yeah, that's pretty. That's ultimate-esque. Zeratul. Does Zeratul have an ultimate?
Zeratul is an ultimate.
Zeratul isn't. That's well
Like
put.
all his units are ultimates. All his call downs are ultimates.
Zeratul is ultimate. And Stetboy, he has Super Gary. Super Gary is ultimate.
It's his ultimate at like 4 minutes when his hero unit spawns, and
Yeah.
he basically doesn't need anything else.
And Han and Horner suck so much that they have 2 ultimates just to make up for it.
I feel like for the bug thing, Con Horner is pretty solid.
But they still have 2 ultimates. Yeah! You know what? This commander is missing an ultimate. That's what this guy needs.
Yeah, I think they could do with an ultimate.
Yeah. Even if it's not... Oh, how about this? All lost units, all lost mercenaries and allied units are instantly revived. That's an ult. No, that's an ultimate. Totally 100% abuse free. Totally.
Perfect.
Perfectly valid. Yeah, that's it's not a nuke, which is already unique because most of the Terran commanders' ultimates are nukes. But I think it's still good enough to be an ultimate. You know, now that I think about it, Raynor also needs another ultimate aside from the Hyperion. Hyperion's pretty good. Don't get me wrong, but like he needs another ultimate too. Anyway, this is not a Raynor discussion. I think Han and Horror needs an ultimate. That's what this guy's missing. So yeah, Endarthe, photo loss, add an ultimate to this commander. That'll make him really good. One more thing about Ariel Hanson in general is that I feel like yes, the mechanics of gathering research are Hanson passable because it can also be Stetboy, but the units are more Hill than Hanson, right?
Kind of, yeah.
I feel like it can almost be like a Hot and Horner type of thing, except it's Hill and Hanson. So now when you say H and H, you don't even know who you're referring to. Is it Hot and Horner or Hill and Hanson? Is it Ha Ho or He Ha? Yeah, I feel like it should be more of a the units are very Grav and Hill-esque. So it should be, I think, Hill and Hanson. Or Hanson and Hill. Type of thing. The technology is Hanson passable, but the units are very Grave and Hill. That's what I think. What do you think?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I usually don't really. I usually do not mind if units don't
Belong.
exactly fit, as long as you're not giving like.
It's not that. It's not that they don't fit Hanen, or it's not that they don't fit Hanson. It's just that they so much better fit Grav and Hill. You know?
You're the lore expert. I just like pushing buttons on
The
the
lore
keyboard.
expert? Oh, no. I would never claim to be a lore expert. Especially when Subsaurians referenced in this very text document. But I think I know enough about the lore to say that I feel like this feels more Gravenhill-esque than Ariel Hanson-esque. Because even, you remember, even on her own world, Agria, she didn't have any mercenaries. She had colonist militia. Which absolutely suck. Anyway, Masteries, combat to attack rate, plus 15%. Scanner sweep, dark prison mind control cooldown. I would like the second mastery. I think the second mastery works better.
Yep.
Dark prison, yeah. Set 2. The first one is also pretty good though. Combat to attack rate also pretty decent. If you don't like top bars. Set 2, drop pod, unit speed increase. Mercenary squad cooldown. I think the squad cooldown is vastly superior. Yeah? Reduced by 2 minutes? That's massive! Yeah, I think for the set 2, squad cooldown is just way better. Set 3, structure resource cost, build time, starting supply. I guess,
Like a maybe 27 split or whatever.
Yeah, I think set 3 is
Something
more. I think set 3 is more evenly distributed. Set 2 is just way more skewed towards towards mercenary squad cooldown. I feel like the squad cooldown is just vastly superior to drop pod increase. Set 1 is fine. Set 3 is good. Set 2, maybe buff drop pod unit speed increase or something. Something like that. Or something like, what could be an alternative mastery? This. Oh, how about double biomass? What's the word for biomass here? Double sample chance. Double sample chance to increase your generation of research. Yeah, double sample chance. That'll be competitive.
Mechanic, I think.
Yeah.
Kind of good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would even be competitive with mercenary squad cooldown. If you can have more research faster. Yeah, I think set 2. Replace drop pod unit speed increase with double sample chance. There we go. Alright. So that is our review of Ariel Hanson Commander Concepts by Endarthe and Photolas. Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. I will still link our master's channel. You should. Are you deleting the channel or are you leaving the current content up?
No, the channel will be up because I think there are a lot of useful videos.
All right.
Especially on Starcraft.
I will still link StarCraft2coop.com and our master's channel down below. He will keep the content up. He will not delete the channel, and I've already told him not to delete the Patreon, even just so I can continue supporting him on my own. If you have anything else to add or to say about maybe something we didn't quite understand down below, please feel free. And I will see you guys next time.